G'day guys, Ash here from the Asset Lab, and we've got a great question today for our It's Only Money series of videos. Now this question is from Princess Peach. The question we've been asked today is, I'm self-employed, I don't need to make superannuation contributions, but I think I should. Am I better to contribute those dollars to superannuation or to an investment outside of superannuation where I can control how it's invested and have a few less of those restrictions? And that's a fantastic question. Like so many of our clients who are small business owners, their response to us when we talk about superannuation is, my business is my superannuation. So they're building their business with the value, or trying to build business value with the objective that when they retire, they'll sell their business and that's what they'll use to fund their retirement. And look, I think that's great. Look, I am a small business owner and there's an element to that in what I do, but I do make superannuation contributions for myself. You're really balancing, in this case, some tax benefits and some investment opportunities. So just to have a quick recap, sorry, Siri thought I was talking to her. Siri, not talking to you. So where was I? Superannuation, right. Superannuation is just a trust, right? Like a discretionary trust. However, to be a complying superannuation fund, it needs to comply with the Superannuation Industry Supervision Act, which means there's restrictions on contributions, there's restrictions on taking money out of the trust. In return for that, you get some tax benefits. In accumulation, which is what most of us have, the tax rate is capped at 15%. That's great, that's a fantastic tax rate. So when you earn money in your super fund, you only pay 15% tax on it. In drawdown retirement, at the moment, depending on how we go with legislation, it's zero. Okay, I can't really think of a better tax rate than zero. With that tax rate, there's a little string attached to how you invest, what you invest in, and what you can do with those funds. So I guess Princess Peach's question relates to, if I take the money that I would otherwise contribute to superannuation on my own behalf, what could I do with it? The problem is, if you're in small business, sometimes you've got a higher than average tax bracket. If you invest in your own name, you're going to be subject to marginal tax rate, or if you're in a company, it's a 30% tax rate, so it's going to be a higher tax rate. So you've really got to balance that 15% tax, that concessional tax rate, versus what you really want to do with it. And sometimes you can actually do what you want to do inside superannuation, so you can kill two birds with one stone. You can invest the way you want to invest and get those tax benefits. For example, if you want to borrow to invest in property, you can do that in superannuation. It's a little bit convoluted and it's difficult and expensive. But if that's what you want to do, you can do it, and it's got a lot of payoff, especially for self-employed people. Again, look, the lawyers want me to explain to you that this is not personal advice. I've not considered your own personal situation. This is general discussion, etc., etc. Check our website for my full disclaimer. I can't remember it offhand. But if you're a business owner and you want to buy the premises you work out of, you can do that with your super fund. There's some great benefits to doing that. If you want to invest in property, you can do that. You just can't rent it out to someone you know. So there is some restrictions. So look, the best advice I think for Princess Peach is to get some personalised advice on your situation. What is it that you want to achieve? And perhaps you can do it in superannuation with that concessional tax rate. If what you want to do is not going to fit within the sole purpose test of superannuation, that's a great one to look up. If you've got a couple of hours spare, find a white paper on sole purpose test. If what you want to do is not within that, then yeah, absolutely, invest outside. But make sure, I guess the thing that I really like about the question is that the assumption is I need to put something away for the future. So many business owners just don't do it. They pump everything back into their business, and because they believe in their business, they do that. But sometimes they just got to take a little bit out and pay themselves with it. And that's investing in their own name, investing in superannuation, making sure they're making their contributions, and just not putting all their eggs in one basket. That is their business. So for a start, Princess Peach, if that is your real name, I don't think it is, well done. I think you're in the right mindset. You've got the mindset that you're going to take some of your earnings and put them away for later. Your question is, how do I do that? Whereas a lot of the small business owners, they're just not interested in, they're just pumping everything back into their business, and sometimes that's to their own detriment. So, yeah, the answer to the question is, it depends. All right? I know that's not a great answer, but you've got to balance up those tax concessions with what it is you're actually wanting to achieve. Yeah, tax is better in superannuation. I don't know how it compares to what it is you want to achieve. So there's definite benefits in both for you. But again, putting that money aside is the most important thing. As you know, with the Asset Lab, what we believe in is that the small decisions that you make every day with your money are what have the biggest impact on your long-term financial success. And certainly putting a little bit away, whether you're employed or self-employed, putting a little bit away every day is the most important thing. So that wraps up this video. Thanks for a fantastic question. Look, I hope I've answered it in some way, shape or form, but feel free to get in touch with me directly. My email address is ashmcauliffe@icloud.com, or you can send a message through Facebook or through Twitter, where Asset Lab, so at Asset Lab on Twitter, or we're the Asset Lab on Facebook. You can find us, so send the question through directly, and we can probably have a bit more of an in-depth conversation about what it is you're trying to achieve. So, all right, that's all for today, guys. Thank you.